Hello students, I welcome you all to the fifth session of quadrilaterals. This is going to be your last session. Let us continue with the problems. In a parallelogram, show that the angle bisectors of two adjacent angles intersect at right angles. This is your question. So the question clearly says the quadrilateral is a parallelogram. In a parallelogram, show that the angle bisectors, that means angular bisectors, you should be knowing that angular bisectors will divide the angle into two equal angles of two adjacent angles intersect at right angles. Now let us consider ABCD as the parallelogram. All of us know the properties of parallelogram. Opposite sides are parallel and equal to each other, and opposite angles are also equal. Now, according to the question, adjacent angles, two adjacent angles, you should be showing that the angular bisectors of these two adjacent angles intersect at right angle. That means you should be showing that angle DOC is 90 degree. Here I am considering angle D and angle C as the adjacent angles. You can consider any two adjacent angles because it is not specified. Here you can take any two adjacent angles. So DC or BC or AB or angle A and angle D. You can take any two adjacent angles. So here I am considering D and C. So these two DO and OC are the angular bisectors of angle D and angle C respectively. So these two are intersecting here, isn't it? You should be showing that it forms a right angle here. So that is what they are asking you to show. So show that the angular bisectors of two adjacent angles of a parallelogram intersect at right angles. This is about the question and the diagram. Now let us see how to prove this. So since you are doing the diagram, you have to explain the description of the diagram. So let ABCD be the parallelogram in which DO and CO are the angular bisectors of angle D and angle C. So consider the triangle ODC. You can see a formation of triangle here, that is ODC. What is the sum of all the interior angles of any triangle? All of us know that it is 180 degree. So this angle, that is angle DOC plus angle 2 plus angle 1 will be equal to 180 degree. So this 2 and 1 is just given. There is no any particular measurement that we know from the question. So just this angle is given as 1 and this angle is named as 2. So angle 1 plus angle 2 plus angle DOC will be 180 degree. And what is the reason for this? The reason is interior angle theorem of triangle. You can also write as angle sum property of triangle. Now observe these two angles, that is angle ADC and angle BCD. ADC and BCD. These two angles. All of us know that the property of parallelogram, one of the properties says that adjacent angles of a parallelogram are supplementary. So angle ADC plus angle BCD is equal to 180 degree. Now for this equation, whatever we have got here, I will multiply half on both the sides, that is LHS and RHS. So it is going to be half of ADC, that is half of angle ADC plus half of angle BCD is equal to half of angle 180 degree. So these two in LHS, whatever is there, will be coming down in the next step as it is. Half of 180 degree, we know that it is 90 degree. Now what is half of angle ADC? Half of angle ADC is nothing but angle 2, because we know that DO is the angular bisector. So this will be half and this will be another half. The complete one is angle D. So half of that is going to be angle 1 and angle 2. Angle 1 and angle 2. So half of ADC is nothing but angle 2 and half of BCD is nothing but angle 1. So it is going to be angle 2 plus angle 1 or angle 1 plus angle 2. Both are same. So angle 1 plus angle 2 is equal to 90 degree. Give it as equation number 2. Here we can see in equation 1 we already have this, isn't it? So now we got the value of angle 1 plus angle 2. Substitute here. So that the equation becomes DOC, that is angle DOC plus 90 degree, because angle 1 plus angle 2 we just found it is 90 degree. So substitute this place with 90 degree and RHS as it is 180 degree. Now in this equation the only one which is unknown is angle DOC. So keep that in LHS, send this 90 degree to RHS, it is going to be minus 90 degree. So 180 degree minus 90 degree is 90 degree. So we already finished proving that angle DOC is 90 degree, so that the angular bisectors of adjacent angles of any parallelogram will intersect at right angle or 90 degree. Next one, the angle between the two altitudes. Altitudes means you should be knowing that it is height. The angle between the two altitudes of a parallelogram through the vertex of an obtuse angle is 50 degree. Find the angles of this parallelogram. Since the diagram is not given in the question, we have to do the diagram. The angle between two altitudes of a parallelogram through the vertex of an obtuse angle is 50 degree. So let ABCD be the parallelogram according to the question. AM will be one of the altitudes and AN will be the second altitude. So these two altitudes are intersecting here and forming 50 degree here. That is what is given in the question. So you can see this is the obtuse angle, isn't it? Angle A is clearly obtuse and angle B is acute. You can see the parallelogram here. The shape of the parallelogram according to the diagram, we did angle A as obtuse and angle B as acute. In that way only we did the diagram. So it is given that vertex of an obtuse angle. So this will be the obtuse angle and this is the vertex of the obtuse angle, that is A is the vertex. So these altitudes are meeting this point vertex of obtuse angle and they are forming angle 50 degree. That is what the question says. You are being expected to find the angles of this parallelogram. So only this angle is given. You have to find angle A, angle B, angle C and angle D. So let us see how to find this. So let ABCD be the parallelogram. AN and AM are the two altitudes. AN and AM are the two altitudes which are meeting at the vertex. This vertex is of an obtuse angle and these altitudes are making an angle 50 degree. So all these are the given information. Now consider this quadrilateral. You can see here there is a formation of a quadrilateral here, that is AMCN. What is the sum of all the interior angles of any quadrilateral? It is 360 degree. So angle A plus angle N plus angle C plus angle M is 360 degree. That is according to the angle sum property of quadrilateral. We know this angle, it is 90 degree because it is perpendicular here. Here also this is 90 degree. So we know the three angles of this quadrilateral: 90 degree, 50 degree, 90 degree. So using this angle sum property, you can find this angle, angle C. Substitute all the values of angle A, angle M, angle N. Because angle C is unknown, we will retain it as it is. And find the value of angle C. Add 50 and 90, you are going to get 230 degrees. Send that to the RHS, so that it is going to be 360 minus 230 and the answer is 130 degree. So angle C is 130 degree. We got this angle as 130 degree. Now if one angle of a parallelogram is known, you can find the other three angles. We know that opposite angles are equal of any parallelogram. So angle C is equal to angle A. They both are equal. If C is 130 degree, angle A is also 130 degree. And we know that the adjacent angles are supplementary. So if this is 130 degree, angle D is going to be 180 degree minus 130 degree, which is equal to 50 degree. After finding angle D, you can write angle D and angle B are equal because opposite angles of a parallelogram are equal. So this is how you can find the angles of a parallelogram when two altitudes and the angle of intersection of these altitudes are given. Suppose in the same question, if it is given for acute vertex, you are going to take it this side. Altitude should be drawn like this. Hope it is clear to you all. Next problem. In the given figure, ABCD is a parallelogram and E is the midpoint of the side BC. So ABCD is a parallelogram according to the question and E is the midpoint of the side BC. What do you mean by the midpoint? It is going to divide this line segment into two equal line segments, that is CE will be equal to BE. DE and AB on extending, that is DE, this is the DE line segment, and AB. So these two line segments, when it is extended, it is meeting at the point F. You should be proving that AF is equal to 2 times AB. AF is this line segment. You should be proving that AF is equal to 2 times AB. So to prove this, you should be showing that AB is equal to BF. So if you show that AB and BF are equal, then equal and equal will be complete. That is AF will be equal to AB plus BF. Since BF and AB are both equal, so you can tell it as 2 times AB. So let us see now how to prove this. So first write all the given information from the question. Now consider triangle DCE and triangle FBE. DCE is here and FBE is here. We are talking about these two triangles. Now in these two triangles, angle DCE is equal to angle FBE. DCE, that is this angle, is equal to this angle because they are vertically opposite. In DCE is equal to FBE. DCE, that is this angle, is equal to EBF or FBE, this angle, because they form alternate angles, because these two are parallel, isn't it? AB and CD are parallel to each other, so alternate angles are equal. That is DCE will be equal to EBF or FBE because they are alternate interior angles. And the next one is CE is equal to EB because E is the midpoint, so these two sides are going to be equal. That is given. And this angle which I told you in the beginning, that is DEC, is equal to BEF because they are vertically opposite angles which are going to be equal. So we got angle, side, angle. So according to ASA congruency rule, these two triangles are congruent to each other. That is triangle DCE is congruent to triangle FBE. So after proving the congruency, you can write the other pairs, that is corresponding pairs, are equal according to CPCT. So DC, that is this side DC, will be equal to BF or FB according to CPCT. Now consider this AF line segment. AF is having two parts, AB and BF. So AF will be sum of these two line segments. So we can write it as AF is equal to AB plus BF. BF or FB both are same. Now we know that FB is equal to DC. Just now we have proved here. We also know that DC is equal to AB, isn't it? Because they both are equal, opposite sides of parallelogram ABCD. So what you can do here is AB and DC are equal. So you can replace this DC with AB. So AF will be equal to AB plus AB. So AF is equal to 2 times AB is nothing but 2AB. So this is what is being required to prove here, and we have proved. Hence proved. Next problem. Two opposite angles of a parallelogram are 3x minus 2 degree and 63 minus 2x degree. Find all the angles of this parallelogram. So let ABCD be the parallelogram and two opposite angles are given. So what we will do is we will write the measurements of the given angles in opposite. So if I take angle B, the opposite angle of that is going to be angle D. So the given measurements 3x minus 2 will be for angle B and 63 minus 2x is going to be for angle D. Suppose you write it for angle A, that is if you write this measurement for angle A, you will be writing this measurement for angle C, because it is clearly given that two opposite angles of a parallelogram. Now let us see how to find all the angles of the parallelogram. So let ABCD be the parallelogram in which angle B and angle D are considered as the opposite angles here, and the measurements are given in the question that has been done in the diagram also. We know that opposite angles of a parallelogram are equal. So angle B will be equal to angle D. So equate these two measurements whichever is given in the question. So 3x minus 2 is equal to 63 minus 2x. So bring the unknown term towards the LHS and send the constant to RHS. So that it is going to be 3x plus 2x. Minus 2x is in RHS. Bring it to LHS, it is going to be plus 2x. 63 is in RHS, let it be as it is. Bring minus 2 to RHS, so it is going to be plus 2. 3x and 2x are like terms, you can add, so it is going to be 5x. 63 plus 2 is 65. Now the relationship between 5 and x here is multiplication. So what happens to 5 if you send it in the other side? So multiplication becomes division. So x is equal to 65 divided by 5, which is equal to 13. So the value of x is 13. So using this you can find the angles. Substitute the value of x here in 3x minus 2. You will be getting the value of angle B. And after finding angle B, you can find angle A because angle A and angle B are supplementary. So angle A will be 156 degree if you find in that way. So here the value of x is 13. So 3x minus 2, that is 3x minus 2 in the place of x. If you substitute 13, it is going to be 3 into 13 minus 2, which will be giving you 24 degree. That means angle B is 24 degree. Angle D is also 24 degree only. You can check here by substituting the value of x. You will be getting 24 only. So after finding 24 degree, you can find angle A. 180 minus 24 degree will be giving you angle A, which is equal to 156 degree. So this is how you find all the angles of a parallelogram. Next question. ABCD is a parallelogram in which angle A is 62 degree. Find the remaining three interior angles. One of the angles is given, that is one of the interior angles is given as 62 degree. You should be finding the other three angles. It is very easy. We know that angle A is equal to angle C. So 62 degree means it is also going to be 62 degree. So angle C is 62 degree. Then angle B and angle A are supplementary because they are adjacent angles of parallelogram. So angle B plus angle A is 180 degree. And the reason for this is adjacent angles of any parallelogram are supplementary. We know the value of angle A, that is 62 degree. So angle B plus angle 62 degree is 180 degree. Angle B will be equal to 180 degree minus 62 degree, which is going to be 118 degree. So angle A and angle C are equal to 62 degree each. Then angle B and angle D are 118 degree each because these two are opposite and they are going to be equal. Hope it is clear to you all. Next question. Prove that the diagonals of a rectangle are equal in length. So this is a 2-marker theorem type question. So the question is very clear that the type of the quadrilateral mentioned in the question is rectangle. You should be knowing the properties of rectangle. You should be proving that the diagonals of any rectangle are equal in length. So let us draw a rectangle here. ABCD is a rectangle. AC is one diagonal and BD is another diagonal. So they are asking you to prove that these two diagonals are equal. Apart from that, you should be knowing the other properties of rectangle, that opposite sides are equal and parallel. Each interior angle measures 90 degree. That is angle A is equal to angle B is equal to angle C is equal to angle D is equal to 90 degree each. All are right angles. Now let us see how to prove BD is equal to AC. For this, what we will do is we shall consider triangle ADC, that is this triangle ADC, and DBC, this triangle DBC. Because BD is a part of DBC and AC is a part of ADC. So if we prove that these two triangles are congruent, then according to CPCT we can say that these two sides are equal, so that the diagonals can be proved as equal. Now let us see how to prove the congruency of these two triangles. DC remains same in both the triangles because in DBC also we have DC, in ADC also we have DC. So DC is equal to DC, the reason is common side. And then angle AADC, this angle is equal to angle BCD, this angle. Because we know that all the interior angles of a rectangle are 90 degree each according to the property of rectangle. We also know that AD is equal to BC. Opposite sides of rectangle are equal according to the properties of rectangle. Now we got side, angle side, and the angle is included also. So according to SAS congruency rule, we can say that triangle ADC is congruent to triangle DBC. So from this we can write BD is equal to AC as CPCT. That is corresponding parts of congruent triangles. BD and AC are nothing but the diagonals of the rectangle ABCD. So hence proved. Last question. The angles of a quadrilateral are 4x degree, 7x degree, 15x degree and 10x degree. Find the smallest angle of this quadrilateral. So the measurement of the angles are given in terms of unknown variables, that is 4x degree, 7x degree, 15x degree and 10x degree. We should be finding the value of x first and then we will be finding the smallest angle. So the smallest of the given measurements is 4x. It depends upon the value of x. Sometimes if we get a fraction, then smallest one is not 4x. We will find out first x and then we shall see which is the smallest one. So let PQRS be the quadrilateral. So this is going to be the quadrilateral with the measurements given, that is 4x degree, 7x degree, 15x degree and 10x degree. We know that sum of all the four angles of any quadrilateral is 360 degree according to the angle sum property of quadrilateral. So 4x plus 7x plus 15x plus 10x is going to be 360 degree. The reason is angle sum property of quadrilateral or interior angle theorem of quadrilateral. So when you add all these four, because all the four are like terms, so you can add them. 4 plus 7 plus 15 plus 10 is 36. So 4x plus 7x plus 15x plus 10x is nothing but 36x. And RHS will remain as it is 360 degree. So we want only the value of x, so send 36 that side. It is going to be x is equal to 360 divided by 36. What is the value of 360 degree divided by 36? It is 10 degree. So x value is 10. So since it is not a fraction, it is very easy to find out which will be the smallest. So if x is 10, 4x is only the smallest angle of all the four angles here. So smallest angle is 4x. So the value of x is 10 degree. So 4x is nothing but 4 into 10, which is 40 degree. So the measurement of the smallest angle of this quadrilateral is 40 degree. So by this chapter quadrilaterals is complete. I want all of you to solve all the problems in your textbook and also write all these problems whichever is being explained in the session. Dear students, by this session, the chapter quadrilaterals is complete. See you all in the next session with a new chapter. Thank you.